a suspect. Hanging with the killers in the projects. Taylor on a barrel, keep quiet. Catch a nigga slipping from behind. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Put nigga out like an outbreak. Chopper start to make the house shake.
Hey my loves, it's me Keisha. Happy Sunday. I am here with a brand new all tea all shade Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 episode 10 review. Are y'all ready to get into this episode? Let's get to it. So the episode starts off with Kenya and Candy meeting up at a little playground, indoor playground for kids. And Kenya has Brooklyn with her and Candy has Blaze with her. And it was just so cute seeing the little girls playing and having fun with each other, and Kenya and Candy having fun with each other. I just tripped off that. KK, Kenya, Candy, and then Brooklyn, Blaze. Oh, that is so cute. They both love seeing their daughters playing with each other. Brooklyn is like a year or two older than Blaze, I think about a year or so. So she's kind of like a big sister to Blaze, and they just are just so cute together. I really hope that they end up having like a close friendship growing up because they are just the cutest. So Kenya and Candy sit down and talk. And Kenya makes a comment about her, just trying to save Kenya more hair care because she hasn't been able to get her supplies in from overseas because of COVID and the whole shipping issues. So she tells Candy that she got an offer from CVS and Walmart to have her products in those stores, but she can't even supply Sally's right now because of the supply issue. So Candy is just like, what do you need? And, Kenya tells her, she has a new CFO or whatever that's helping her. And Candy was like, okay, but you can tell Candy was ready to step in any capacity to help her, which is good. It's always good to have friends there ready and willing to aid you. And so Candy then goes on to tell Kenya that, you cannot let Marlo deter you from having a good time, with us. And Kenya was like, girl, I ain't thinking about, Marlo. Like, ain't nobody thinking about her because she just cannot be trusted, like, period. So Candy then goes on to tell Kenya about what Marlo told her in the bathroom about how she told the boys to get the fuck out. And Kenya just shaking her head like, really? And Candy is telling her, like, that just really affected me because I'm looking at it from the boys' perspective of, now you putting me out. And she was like, she should have known what she was getting herself into when she decided to take them in. And Kenya was like, she's just adding to their trauma. And I 100% agree with it. Like, I could understand this being new to her and her needing a break or whatever for like a day or two, but just to tell them to get the fuck out in a 30-day period until they can come back, like, that's just a bit much. You know what I'm saying? Then Candy is at her home and she's preparing for this girls trip that Marlo has planned where they're going like glamping or something. And she calls and tells Marlo that Kenya is not coming. And I don't blame Kenya. I wouldn't go neither. And so Marlo was like, we'll survive without her. Like, basically, don't nobody care. Lord. We then see Marlo's sister, Crystal, who is her little sister, come by to visit so she can see the boys' room. So Marlo shows her sister the kids' room and how, they had clothes everywhere and how William punched a hole in the wall, and Crystal's like, girl, you need to give him some anger management. So Crystal goes on to tell Marlo that, it's good that she's strict on them when it comes to schoolwork, but that she has to be more strict on them when it comes to cleaning up behind themselves and, all that type of stuff. You just can't tell them, go clean up, and they gonna do it. You gotta come in behind them, make sure they do it and all that type of stuff. If you're a mama, you know what Crystal is talking about. And I'm just looking at it like, I understand once again that it might have overwhelmed Marlo, but to send them to her sister's house for 30 days, knowing her sister got 4 kids of her own, is a bit selfish to me. Like I said, a few days, okay. But for 30 days, now she got 6 kids that she got to look after, and she a single mom herself. I think that's a bit much. Like, and you ain't got nothing but yourself. Like, come on. Like, that girl going through enough as it is. So we then find out that when Crystal was little and Marlo found out that like she was in the system or whatever, she went and got her and was helping to raise Crystal. But Crystal didn't like, her rules and things. So she went to go stay with her mama, and then that didn't work out over there. So Crystal then goes on to tell her that, I didn't like hearing what you had to say because I had to get adjusted to all of these different environments. And you got to think about a kid being in one person's house, or they tell them to do this, going to another person's house, or they tell them to do that, going to another person's house. And then it's the fear of, is this even gonna last? Am I gonna even be here that long? There's not even a sense of stability or whatever. And I think that Marlo tends to forget what these little boys have gone through with their mother and the instability of that whole situation. So Marlo tells her sister that she's gonna send her some money this month or whatever, which is, I'm like, that's the least you can do is get a girl some money. Marlo then goes on to ask her, do you think that I'm bad for needing a break? And Crystal was like, no, because as sisters, we're supposed to help each other. But to be honest with you, they shouldn't hear certain things that you say, like, I don't have to take care of y'all and this, that, and the third. That's not helping, because yeah, you can provide them all of this stuff, but then it's still putting in the back of their head to be on pins and needles, because you could put us out at any moment. And like, we're charity pretty much to you and not a stable environment for us to be in. So I'm glad that Crystal told Marlo about herself, and she did it in a way where it wasn't coming down on her, but just being honest. So I appreciated that. So it's the day of the trip, and we learned that Sheree has broken her toe. So she has a boot on her foot. She and Marlo take a Rolls Royce to the cabin. They ride together, really nice. And Marlo, then we see, booked Candy, Monyetta, and Drew Ashton Martin, and she sent them wings from OLG, which was a really nice touch. I loved it. It was fabulous, honey. But the gag is, when they got in the car, the driver told them they can't eat in the car, and they like, excuse you, what? Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all know they had Candy greedy ass fucked up. Candy was like, I don't give a goddamn about this damn car shit. I got several Aston Martins parked in the back. We going inside to eat. Them heifers took their time and leisurely ate them wings for an hour before they got back in their car. I hollered. So on the way there, Marlo tells Sheree that Kenya isn't coming. They're gonna say, Sheree, how did me and her get here? How did we get to this place? Marlo, stop it with the antics. Stop it. You know exactly why y'all got to this place. You started with her for a storyline. So stop it. And with the way that Marlo has acted this season, and her being vindictive and just starting stuff, and it's coming off, scripted and fake, she's not going to get a peach again next year. She ruined it for herself. This was her opportunity to shine, and she ruined it for herself. I will be shocked and amazed if they give her a peach next year. She will be back as a friend to the show. So Candy, however, feels that Kenya is going to come. She's going to make a grand entrance like she always does. And when Candy speaks to Marlo on the phone, she asks, is Fatum coming? And she was like, huh, what you say? She was like, is Fatum coming? She was like, nah, she said she couldn't make it. Drew is in the front seat, and she rolls her eyes because she thinks that they're lying and that they trying to be messy and start some shit. But she was like, I don't care. It ain't bothering me. And they was like, girl, yes, it is. It is bothering you. Like, stop fronting. I mean, it would bother me too, because like, bitch, I don't even know you, and you digging into my life, my situation. Like, who the fuck are you? But, yeah, I would be shocked if Fatum doesn't come. I think that she's probably going to pop up too with Kenya. Who knows? So the girls get to the cabin, and it is fabulous, honey. That ain't even no cabin, darling. That is a mansion in the woods. And what's so funny, you guys, is that I just sent my son to a cabin here in Missouri for a few days with his cousin and his friends or whatever. It's a really nice Airbnb in this like woodsy resort or whatever. So that is just so funny that my son is off for the week experiencing his first little boys trip or whatever, and the girls on this show are doing the same thing. So that is just so funny. But the place was absolutely gorgeous. It was stunning. I can't wait for y'all to see the place that I got for my birthday. It is fabulous. Oh my God. But anywho, this is not about me. So the house has a concierge service, so they don't have to do anything. They don't have to lift a finger, which is fabulous. They do the rooms, and Marlo has this game in place in order to figure out the room situation. She then tells the girls they got 15 minutes to dinner, and they like, 15 minutes, girl? Like, we got a shower. She like, y'all better take a whole bath. Y'all better sprinkle a little water on that cooch if it's musty. I'm like, Lord Jesus the Christ. But at least she keeping it funky and keeping it real. So on the van ride to the restaurant, Marlo tells the girls about, putting the boys out for 30 days and her needing a break because she go through so much, and how she even went off on her best friend telling them that they don't help her, this, that, and the third. And so Candy was like, so how long you gonna do this? She was like, for at least 30 days. And Candy was like, but like, really? Like, she was like, that ain't like, that ain't right. She was like, well, they with my sister. And she was like, yeah, but you said your sister only got a 2-bedroom house and she got a bunch of kids. And Marlo was like, well, she just moved into a 3-bedroom. What, Marlo? You sound crazy. She was like, that's how we grew up. Okay, yeah, that's how you grew up, but why put that on your sister? So that means your sister got a bedroom, and then she got 4 kids herself. So that means that without your nephews being there, she got 2 kids in each in the other rooms. And so where is William and them sleeping? On the floor? On the couch? Like, come on, bro. Like, that's not cool. Like, I feel like that's being selfish as fuck. Yeah, you giving her some money, but I don't feel like that's cool. Like, nah, you don't do that to nobody. Like, that's just selfish as hell to me. No. So the ladies are drinking and they're having a good time. And Marlo brings up the fact that she wants drunk Candy, how we got drunk Kenya. Candy was like, nah, you're not going to get that. You're going to get the same candy all the time, honey. I never been drunk before in my life. Now, a lot of the T Squad members know this, but for any new T Squad members, I don't drink myself. I think that the taste of alcohol is freaking disgusting. I don't know how y'all do it. Y'all be acting like that shit tastes like Kool-Aid and it tastes like rubbing alcohol. Like, that shit is disgusting. I've only been inebriated twice in my life, and I don't like the feeling of not being fully control of myself. I just don't like it. And like I said, I just don't like the taste of liquor. If I do drink, I'll drink like an amaretto sour, but drinking is just not for me. So me and Candy will get along perfectly. So as they're sitting down and they're ordering everything, Candy gets a text message from Kenya saying, is anybody asking about me? Are they bringing me up? Like, girl, the thirst of it all. Sit down somewhere, Kenya. So Candy then excuses herself and goes to meet Kenya because she has arrived. And she was like, girl, I'm so happy you greeted us with your presence, honey. Like, I knew you was coming because they got the same hair and makeup. And I'm like, the games people play. So they go upstairs and everybody is shocked to see Kenya. Marlo's looking like, the fuck? Like, so this bitch knew that she was coming and didn't say nothing, talking about Candy. She was saying like her feelings was hurt that Candy didn't let her know. I would have been feeling some type of way too, because you the one called me and told me that you knew she wasn't coming, but then you knew she was coming and still didn't say nothing. So it's like, what kind of game y'all playing? You know what I'm saying? But I would have just peeped game like, oh, okay, I see y'all. All right. But let's not forget that Marlo plays a lot of games too and has talked cash shit about Candy all season. So Candy really don't owe her ass shit. So Kenya sits down and Marlo was like, hey, Kenya, you look beautiful. And Kenya was like, thank you. She's being real cordial with her, but she ain't really fucking with her. So they were like, are you staying at the house with us? And she was like, I don't know. Brooklyn is coming. So I got my own place. And they was like, what? And Candy was like, but we got this big old house. Why you staying somewhere else? And she was like, cause you made a big deal out of it before. And they flashed back to the Bolo trip where, Candy was all upset and stuff because Kenya brought her daughter, and if she would have known, she would have brought Blaze. Girl, knowing damn well she wasn't bringing Blaze nowhere. And so Candy was like, girl, well, since Brooklyn ain't coming tonight, you staying with us. And Kenya was like, okay, we'll see. Don't know about that, but okay, girl, all right. And So then the issues of Drew and Sonya comes up, and how Drew feels like she keep on coming for her. Sonya then arrives, and she comes in. Everybody's excited to see her, not really so much Drew. And she tells the girls that iFit, the company that she's working with, is taking them on a trip to Jamaica. Now, we all know iFit ain't taking their asses nowhere. And if they are, it's because Bravo asked them to sponsor the trip. But this is a Bravo sponsored trip. So she tells the girls it's going to be a couples trip. You could bring your boo thing if you want or whatever. So Marlo at the end of the night is like, so Kenya, I'm glad you joined us. Will you be staying with us? And Kenya was like, I don't know. She was like, well, do you know when you gonna know? She was like, I'll let you know. And so Marlo was like, well, if you're not gonna stay with us, then I don't want you to participate in any of our activities. Like, girl, this is why y'all don't get along, because you silly acting. Why do you care if she stays with y'all or not? Like, grow the fuck up. You act like a 10-year-old. Like, she don't have to stay with y'all in order to fucking participate. Why would you even want her in the house? You don't even fucking like her. You talk cash shit about her. Why would you even expect for her to want to stay in the house with you after you just tried to like put your hands on her in the last episode with that glass? Like, what do you expect from her? Like, to really just like be up your ass or something? I wouldn't want to stay in the same house as you neither. Like, get somewhere and sit down, Marlo. You're doing too much. Kenya then asked the ladies, do they agree with Marlo's stance? And they was like, we do want you to, stay at the house or whatever. And so King was like, well, look, let me just tell you how I feel about some things. And, let me speak, just let me say what I need to say. And, Marlo get to talking and shit with her tied tongue ass. And Kenya was like, you seem like you're the hurt one. And then Marlo jumps in again, and she was like, can you be quiet and listen? Even Sheree had to tell her, you're doing a Drew right now. Like, girl, be quiet. You keep on interrupting. So finally, Marlo shuts the fuck up. And Kenya was like, I feel like everything about you is not sincere. You say you want to be everybody's friend, but you're the worst friend here. Ooh, if that ain't the truth. You don't know how to love. When you call me a liar, that is what I have forgiven you for you telling me that I was lying about having a child, and that was unforgivable, but I forgave you anyway. I said I was going to start anew with you, and then you come right back again and call me a liar. So no, you don't get any more chances with me, and I'm done now. So then Marlo goes to speak, and she was like, I'm sorry you feel that way. I still feel like you're lying about being sick. You don't know anything about William or the boys. You don't know what I'll go through. And, I look up to you, Queen. If we don't love each other, we can at least respect each other. And she stands on the fact that if Kenya doesn't stay at the house, she don't want her to participate in none of the events. And it's just like, this is so childish as hell, because once again, why would you expect for her to want to stay in the same house as you? Get the fuck over it. Like, grow the fuck up. You have been a bitch to her all season. You have been vile with the things you have said about her behind her back. Like, just stop it. And this is why I don't see her getting a peach again next season, because I feel like Marlo ruined her chances. I really do. I feel like she got it and she ruined it with this petty ass, silly ass, ignorant ass behavior. And it's so unlikable to watch. It really is. It really, truly is. And that was basically the whole entire episode. Overall, I'll give tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta a B-. It was cute for what it was, but it's pretty much more of the same. You know what I'm saying? Same shit that we've seen for the last 14 years. I just honestly feel like at this point they need to fully shake this shit up. And I've said this 50 million times. Do some shit like they doing with New York, where they have an OG cast and a new Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Because these storylines are just played out at this point. Like, it's just old and tired. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.